Hello and welcome. This video will show you how yourself and a friend can play Project Zomboid Build 41 I Will Back Up My Save Beta in online multiplayer split screen mode right now without waiting for the public multiplayer release, which is coming soon. This isn't true multiplayer as it's available on Build 40, but rather a fully functional workaround on the Build 41 beta using Steam's remote play feature. It will definitely hold over those of you who are fiending for a multiplayer experience on the awesome new build. The only caveats being that you'll be forced to play in split screen mode, and one of the players will be stuck using a controller. Before we get multiplayer up and running, the host player is going to need to have PZ running the current Build 41 I Will Back Up My Save build. Let's quickly go over how to opt into this beta on Steam. Step 1. Find Project Zomboid in your Steam library. Step 2. Right-click on the game title and select Properties. Step 3. A small Properties window will pop up. Navigate to the Beta tab on the far right side. Select I Will Back Up My Save, Public Test Version May Be Hot. Close the window and wait for the download to complete. And congratulations! You've now opted into the beta test build for Project Zomboid. Now it's time to set up multiplayer. The host player will need 1. A Steam account, and 2. A legitimate Steam copy of Project Zomboid that is upgraded to the current beta release of Build 41 I Will Back Up My Save. The guest player will need 1. A Steam account, and 2. A Steam Link compatible controller that is connected to their PC through Bluetooth or USB. Setup and inviting a friend to play Project Zomboid on Build 41 is fairly easy, but there isn't much clear documentation online describing how it's done. You must follow these steps exactly in the order they are presented. It's possible some of these steps could be done slightly out of order, but this sequence is the only way that I personally have been able to get multiplayer to work every single time. Stick around to the end and I'll briefly go over some minor troubleshooting and how to avoid some of the headaches I suffered while figuring this all out. Step 1. The host player boots up Steam and launches Project Zomboid Build 41. Step 2. The guest player boots up Steam and connects their controller. Steam should automatically recognize the controller if it is one of these, but others may also work. Step 3. The host player now needs to select the options menu on the Project Zomboid title screen. Navigate over to the controller tab and tick the boxes on X input controller 0 through 3. Don't forget to click Apply at the bottom. This is a step that only needs to be performed once, the first time you host a session. Step 4. While on the PZ main menu, the host player should now navigate over to his Steam friends list, right-click on the desired guest player, and choose Remote Play Together. A remote play window will appear in your taskbar. Step 5. At this time, the host player should disable the mouse and keyboard options for remote play in the remote play window by single-clicking on the mouse and keyboard icons. Step 6. Wait for confirmation that the guest player has loaded the remote play interface. Step 7. This is a bit counterintuitive, but the host now needs to begin a new solo file with the preferred game type, starting location, and character build. Step 8. The host should load into the game when they are ready. Step 9. At this point, the guest is ready to create their character. The guest should press the bottom standard input button on their controller. I know for Xbox it is A, and I believe it is X or cross for PS4 controllers. Both players should see a small menu appear in the top left corner. Step 10. The guest player should select New Character using their joystick or D-pad, being cautious not to accidentally take over the host player's character. Step 11. The guest will now create his character build and desired starting location. Any of the standard spawns are available, but I imagine most players will want to select the Spawn with Player 1 option. Since mouse and keyboard are not available to the guest player, the host may have to assist a bit in menu navigation and typing the guest character's desired name. Once the guest character is created, the game window should display as a split screen. If so, congratulations, you're now playing Project Zomboid Build 41 Beta in multiplayer. A few final things to note before I close out the video. If the host tabs out of the game in order to look at another application, Project Zomboid may display a blank screen for the guest, which could temporarily lock their inputs, having them continually walk in a certain direction, attack the air infinitely, or in some cases even crash the game. If this should happen, exit to the game's main menu, end the remote play session, re-invite the guest, reload the file, and try not to make that mistake again. Another issue I ran into had to do with full screen mode and resolution. When I play Project Zomboid solo, I typically play full screen on an ultra-wide monitor. Remote play worked very inconsistently when I was full screen, using my unusual resolution. Rendering the game in windowed mode on a standard 1920 by 1080 resolution solved this issue for myself and my guest. Finally, I've found that more often than not, if you change the guest character's name, it reverts to the game-generated default. Nothing game-breaking, but it's certainly something to keep in mind. Feel free to leave any other troubleshooting advice, tips, tricks, and workarounds you may have found in the comments section. I've been considering making a few other videos on Project Zomboid. Not playthroughs, but informative, fun, and analytical looks into the statistics of game mechanics, infection rates, weapon skills, the importance of cooking, advantages and disadvantages of various traits, vehicle information, loot tables, and so forth. Things that are seriously lacking or simply out of date in the PZ community. Leave a like on this video if you found this tutorial helpful, and follow me if you'd enjoy seeing videos similar to the ones I just described. I'm keen to make the content, but only if there's an audience who'd want to see it. Be well, and I'll catch you next time.